Hi everyone, Julie here. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. Today's video I'm going to have a little look at the film emulator which is called Dehancer. So just up front, they did offer this to me to try, but there's no influence there at all, so all views on this product are my own. They have also kindly given me a discount code, so if at the end of this video you think you might like to have a look, there is a code, so I will pop that in the comments down below and I'll mention it again later. So this is their website. So what is Dehancer? So it is a film emulator, so you can get old looking sort of film looks for your images. It will work with Lightroom, it'll work with Photoshop, I believe it works with DaVinci Resolve, not that I use it. It'll also work with Affinity and Capture One, I believe, and there is also an iPhone app. I don't have any iPhone products, so I won't even be looking at that, but I will be looking at it for photo in Lightroom Classic. So let's get into what Dehancer does. Okay, so I'm in Lightroom Classic. I've got this photo. This is from a workshop I did on the weekend, The Gambler, and I've got this great shot of model David Kennedy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Edit in and just click on Dehancer Lightroom. Now, when I first started downloading and getting everything set up for Dehancer, I thought it was actually a little bit confusing. However, they do give you some brilliant download instructions, and there's written instructions on how to set it up, how to install it, how to use it, and all the rest of it. So I thought that was really good. So that's one great point in their favor, is that it's so easy to set up. On the surface you think, oh, this might be a little complicated, but it's actually not. It is dead easy. So once it's set up, installed it, I did find that I was better off closing everything down, doing a quick restart, and then launching Lightroom and going back into it. But I mean, that's normal with any program that you load. Sometimes it's just better to do a restart just to clean the buffers and everything out and get back in there and get working. So once I did all that, I clicked on a photo, edit in Dehancer Lightroom, like I said, and it will come up with, and I'll just move this up here, edit with a Lightroom copy and adjustments, or edit original. Now, I do have a couple of adjustments, so I'm going to edit with Lightroom adjustments. You don't have to, you could edit it as an original. Now, it will take a second to open up, so it's just preparing the file. And here it is in Dehancer. So just give it a minute for the image to actually load up. Now you can only load one image at a time, but I mean that's fairly standard for a lot of programs that do pretty much the same sort of thing. So I mean that's not really here nor there. You do have, now it's pretty easy to work your way through. So this is what we've got. I'm just going to go full screen, and you have got films and presets, and I'll go into those separately. So if you go into the film, you've got all fill types, so you can go through and you can select your favorites. There's color negative, there's motion picture, there's color positive, there's black and white, there's instant, exotic, and cross processing. So you can just leave it all and you can go through and you can have a look at all of the images, and there's a lot to choose from. I believe there's 63 film types that you can use. So there's Fujifilm, there's Cinestill, there's Fuji Color, there is, what else we got? Fujifilm Instax, there's Ilford. I'm a big fan of some of the Ilford ones, especially like the Ilford Plus 400. You've got Kodak, so there's Kodacolor, Kodak Eastman, Ektachrome, the list goes on. So there's quite a lot that is available. So you've got a bit of a histogram down here and it shows you everything across the top here. So we have got show or hide left hand panel, so you can get more of the screen if you want. This goes into just your settings and your info. You can put in your processor, etc. That's all there. You have got last or restore last used settings. There is reset all settings to default, and then there is undo last edit. So that's fairly standard. Then you have got show or hide the inspector, which is the histogram. Then you've got zoom in or fit. That's all pretty standard. And then you've got preview or original image. So it's all fairly straightforward. There's nothing particularly difficult there. So I'm just going to move myself over here for a minute. What you do have over here is once you have applied one of the film looks, you can then come and play with them. So you've got exposure compensation, you can add defringing, there's film developer, so you can boost your contrast and play with color separation. There's film compression, there is black point and white point that you can play around with. So you've got your different type of print, so if you want to put it on different film types or different paper types, so that's quite handy that you can play with there, and you can boost those around as well. You have got your custom film grain. So I did find one of the things that sort of did bug me a little bit was I found that the grain, and it didn't seem to matter which film stock it was, the grain was quite heavy. So I found that I preferred to drop the grain down. And if you double click on your image, you can zoom in. So I can put my grain up, and I can change how the size and everything that I want of the grain. You just have to give it a minute to sort of catch up. So you can play around with different ones. There's also different film lengths and ISOs that you can add to it, so you can see that you've got quite a bit of grain happening. So you can play around with that. You can also play with, so you can change it to custom or use presets. Then you have got different film types, so whether it's positive or negative. You've also got different modes, so there's an analog and a noise mode. You've got halation, so how much of that you want to use on your image. I'm just going to go back to full screen. So there's a lot you can do with playing and adjusting the film looks to suit the look that you're after. If you are just looking, for instance, for black and white, you can then just come in and have a little look at different black and white images. So like I said, I really quite like the Ilford. I like the Agfa as well. The Fujifilm Neopan is also pretty cool too. So there's a lot of different things that you can do with it. It is just a film emulator, so I mean you can't really go and edit the image or remove anything or whatever. So this would probably be your final step once you've edited your image. So bring your image in, remove anything that you want to remove, and then once you've got it where you're happy with it, you would then take it into Dehancer to give a final sort of film emulation look to your image. There is also, if you want to, and this is more when coming into the custom stuff, you can actually do film damage. So this is pretty cool. You've got different looks and things you can do to your image. So you've got dust and scratches and things like that that you can put on. If you don't want it, you can reset it or just turn it off. You can apply a vignette to it as well. So that's something else that's pretty cool. Bloom, you can come in and you can do like a Super 8 or a Super 16 or a Super 35, and that adds more sort of grunge and dirt and things like that to your image. So you can play with custom looks, and you can add the amount of different sliders that you can put into the image. So that's all pretty cool. So that's looking at the film side of things. Okay, so I thought I'd grab another image, and this time I'm going to go into presets. So there's quite a few presets that people have made, because you can play around with the film looks, and then once you've done some different adjustments, you may have added a vignette, some bloom, different films, stuff like that. Once you've done that, you can then save your own preset. So you can then use it again and again and again. So like I said, you can only really do one image at a time, which is fine. But if you've got your own preset, every time you bring an image in, you can just apply the preset. So that does speed up the process dramatically. So some of the presets, there's some already there. There's some pretty cool ones. I kind of like this one, which adds a bit of warmth to the image. So it just takes a second to sort of load up. So that's where it was. This is where it is now. You can start playing with some negative film and stuff like that. So it is a little on the slow side loading up the presets, but that could just be that my computer is getting a bit old. This one's another one. This is Astrum Color Negative, and that's adding a bit of blue, sort of, not so much blue, maybe it's more the teal orange look that's adding into it. So that's pretty cool. So you can play with them and you can have lots of fun with these. So it's actually easier to install than I first thought, and the step-by-step guide is excellent, as I said before. So like I said, this is a film simulator. It's got 63 packs plus all the presets. You can also completely edit the images from scratch. So you don't have to use any of these. You can go through and you can completely reset everything, and you can work from the top and work your way down and edit the image from scratch, and then of course save that as a preset. There is in presets that I'm assuming that you can get off the Dehancer website, so you can import them or share them with your friend. You can also export your presets. So perhaps if you want to have a bundle pack of presets that you've got, and you could, you know, give them to friends or whatever, you can save all your presets. You can go through and do your different presets. You can go back to your original image. Once you've got your final image and you're happy with everything, all you need to do is click OK. It will save it back into Lightroom. If you jump back over into Lightroom, you will see it there in your film strip, and it will save it as a edit.edit TIFF. So all of your images will be a TIFF image. From here you can continue editing in Lightroom, or you can just export it as your final image. Okay, so this is Dehancer's website. You can go in there, you can play around. There's a video version, so it works with DaVinci Resolve. You get, I believe they call it 2 seats, but it's 2 licenses, so you can use it on, say, your PC and your laptop. I'm looking at the photo version, which works with Photoshop, Lightroom Classic, Capture One, and Affinity Photo. Like I said, there's also an iPhone app, but I didn't get into that. Now, you have got 63 film profiles plus the presets. There's a film developer, there's film compression, you've got Kodak and Fujifilm printing that's within it. You can do color toning, film grain, bloom, halation, defringe, vignettes, and more. It lists your system requirements there. The cost, so for a lifetime access is $199. This is US dollars. For a year, it's $129. So it's probably on par with a lot of other film emulators out there. What did I like about it? It's super simple to set up. The installation guide is excellent. There's some great presets and great film profiles. I also love that you can actually completely edit the packs and presets yourself and make your own presets. I did feel initially that most of the film packs, there was too much grain, but I liked that I could change that and set it to a level that I was happier with. The fact that you can edit from scratch, as I said, is brilliant, and play with all the sliders. I thought it was actually a really good film emulator, so if you are interested in giving it a try, like I said, the people at Dehancer have offered me a discount, so I will put that down the bottom, and you click on that, use the discount code, and you can get your own copy of that. So thank you to Dehancer for asking me to try the product. I thought it was actually pretty good, and I would probably be using it as well as some of the other packs that I've had as well. I'm always a big fan of film emulations, and so I will put a couple of the images up that I edited. So that's it from me. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the little bell, and I will see you next time on YouTube. Bye for now.